It took me a little while, but I finally got done reading Catching Fire, the second book of the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. In this book, I think we see Katniss transform from being the romantic hero into a more realistic individual. In the first book, her main goal is to survive the Hunger Games. She wants to become champion so that she can go home and help her family out. She deeply cares for her mom and sister, and she believes, to some extent, truthfully, that they can't survive to a level that she would like them to see survive because of her hunting skills and ability to be a valued member of the community. She goes out, hunts game, sells it, and then she's able to buy, food, drink, items for their house so that they can sustain themselves above and beyond the typical standard of a District 12 citizen. However, in this book, the first third of it or so, we see Katniss, before she gets sent back into the arena again, beginning to understand that she's a flawed person, that she has faults, and she can't always see everything the way that she needs to see it. Just as an example is, in the first book, she believed that it was Haymitch, giving her the parachutes with the needed supply so that she could survive. But then she realizes in this book that it's actually her community that helped her out. It wasn't just Haymitch, it wasn't just this ruse that Peeta and Katniss were playing to fool the public, but there were actually people that knew Peeta and Katniss and loved them and were really trying to help them out. And that was District 12, the people in her community, and her horizon towards life starts to widen because of that. You could almost say that she was selfish in the first book, and who wouldn't be? She's trying to survive the games. But in the second book, she kind of realizes that this revolution, this makeshift resistance that's starting to form is because of her. But she also knows that she may not be the right person to lead the resistance, to lead the rebellion, to be the face of it, because she's troubled and she is flawed. She wakes up every night from nightmares. She says she can't speak eloquently like Peeta does, and really she sees him as being the face of the resistance. Peeta represents complete unselfishness. He does everything just for Katniss, and it certainly continues on in this novel. Once again, it's written in this first person. Suzanne Collins continues with that tradition, and it makes for a good read. It's powerful imagery, lots of emotion, deep emotion runs in this book, and then we start to see the roots of the rebellion start to take form. How the other contestants, the other gamers, the other champions, past champions, how they begin to feel the crushing blow of Pan Am, and how they need to stand together to some respect to fight the Capitol. It just kind of shows you that revolutions aren't just by one person. It's just not one single event. It's many steps that take place to bring about the change that these people want in this particular reality. I read the book carefully. I was trying to find out if there's any reference to this world, like America or Europe or anywhere. I couldn't find anything at all. So perhaps this is a future in America. We don't know. At least it's not given away in this book. We do know that there's traces of a past government that happened before the main uprising occurred, but we don't know what that past government was or what country that happened in. So if you haven't checked out Catching Fire, take a read at it. Just like the first book, it reads very similar to The Hunger Games compared to the movie. Catching Fire follows pretty closely compared to the movie. However, as I said, you get a much more deep emotional appeal in Katniss as she's making the decisions that she did. For example, when Katniss is immediately rushed from the selection, from the reaping to the game to the train. In the movie, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, it's so shocking. I'm going on the train right now. I thought I'd be able to say goodbye to my mom and sister and Galen. But in the book, it's a little bit deeper impact on Katniss. And there's other instances like that in this book. So again, the overall storyline is similar to the movie, but there are some subtle differences that make it worth investing your time into reading. So anyway, I hope that helps, and take a gander at this book. I mean, it's really good. I can't say enough about Suzanne Collin and what she's putting together. I hope to get to the third book sometime soon. I got a few books for Christmas, and I'd like to start getting into those. But anyway, tell me what you think about the movie, or about the book, or combination of the two. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the character development or even the storyline itself. All right, take care.